Hey, welcome to MiWeek After the Show. So just how important really is Michigan in the presidential primary, Nolan?
More important in the primary season than it is in the general election season. It's tended, it has for the last 25 years to go pretty consistently Democratic in the national general election. But the primary, whole different animal. It's important to both parties because it has a lot of delegates and it votes early. So that's why you're seeing all of these swings through Michigan by the Republican presidential candidates over the past 2 weeks. They're not going to spend near as much time here as they do in, say, Iowa or New Hampshire, but Michigan is right on the heels of those states in terms of its primary vote, and it's the largest number of delegates at stake early on.
So wait, no, so we're seeing the swing throughs. We're not really seeing anything in terms of like investment offices, ground personnel.
You'll see that stuff in the fall, I would guess. But I mean, I think if you talk to officials from both parties, though, locally, they would express frustration about the role that the state plays and say that it should play a bigger role. I mean, we still have this problem where, you know, Iowa and New Hampshire, because of these really weird arcane rules, get to go first and dominate the attention from all the candidates early. And states like Michigan, which are probably more representative of significant areas of the country, was population-wise at least, come behind it. I mean, we still need to, I think, come up with a system of sort of national primaries that would divide states into regions and have them sort of take their turns that way. And Michigan then I think would play a much bigger role.
Yeah, you need a series of super parties. You can't keep letting these, you know, sort of quirky states in Iowa and New Hampshire wash out really good candidates because they couldn't appeal to their voters. And those voters are again, very narrow interested. They're not all that representative. But if you had a series of primaries that group states from different regions of the country for a series of Tuesday votes over a 6-week period beginning in mid-February, late February, going through the 1st of April. I think you would have stronger candidates because you would force them to campaign nationwide and show appeal nationwide. You would have less of a draw to the party's extremes because they would have to appeal again to a broader electorate. I think the primaries would serve a greater purpose if you clustered them like that.
So we're getting the swing throughs. Who else is getting the swing throughs like Michigan is?
Well, South Carolina is because it's an early vote. Nevada is. A number of those states that will vote before the middle of March are starting to see some attention. The bigger states.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's about. I mean, I think that's about it. But the other weird thing with Michigan and primaries is our tendency to vote for some sort of weirdo.
You mean to make a statement,
right.
a statement vote?
Right, who has no shot at getting the nomination.
Well, we gave our votes over the years to George Wallace, Jesse Jackson, Pat Robertson, on and on and on.
McCain on the
John McCain, the first time he ran,
2000.
Bush, despite John Engler, declaring this was going to be a firewall for H.W. Bush here, or George W.
No,
Bush,
George
right?
W.
And so he lost, and as punishment, instead of getting to stay in downtown Philadelphia, the Michigan delegation stayed in Hoboken, New Jersey. It took 2 days to get to the convention hall.
Oh, well, you gotta love it. All right, well, we'll see how it all turns out. Hey, thanks for watching MiWeek After the Show. We'll see you next week.